All right, good evening and welcome to the Ken's 5 Weather Digital Sender on the last Sunday of 2024. The year's coming by really quick and we're wrapping things up in just a couple of days. And temperature-wise, the temperatures are not reflecting what it should look like on the calendar. We should be in the lower 60s. Instead, we are in the 80s today. Matter of fact, here are today's numbers. We were at 81 this afternoon from a morning low of 45. The morning temperature was actually seasonal, at least a couple of degrees above it, but when you compare the daytime high we experienced today, 81, 63 is normal. That's where we should be stopping. So it was extremely warm. It did not break a record technically. We broke a record yesterday, but today was below that threshold. Tomorrow, it looks like we'll break another heat record here in San Antonio before colder air moves in by New Year's Eve. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. And audio is working A-OK on this Sunday night. Jason, you're waiting for the cold front. Not a cold front, but a cold front. Yeah, that looks to be coming through not this upcoming week, but next week. So around the 7th and 8th. If you've been on social media, if anyone's been seeing some of the weather headlines across the country, one of which it's the severe weather across the southeast. Two, a big weather headline lately, at least the last couple of days, is Arctic air plunging farther south. Again, it's not going to be this week. It looks to be next week when temperatures will be a lot colder, especially in the overnights and also for daytime highs. So we're hoping for some colder air. How long will it last from Jason? I would say probably 4 to 5 days. You know, January is historically the coldest month of the year. The first 2 weeks of January is the coldest time of year. That's when our average high and average low bottoms out at the coldest. But that doesn't mean we can't see cold air in February. It just means early January is statistically the coldest time of year. But this next cold front by next week, again, the 6th, 7th, 8th of January, that cold air will probably stick around for several days, and we're hoping for that to happen because it has been warm. You know, a lot of folks don't like the 80s. I mean, it's not bad, it's not hot, but it is warm considering that we should be again at 63, and instead today we are at 81. Yesterday we are at 83. Tomorrow we'll be at 85. There will be some spots south of San Antonio tomorrow that hit the upper 80s. It's going to be the last warm day for a while, and we're thankful for that because we do want a change in the weather. Speaking of changes, we have the New Year's Eve weather forecast for Tuesday night. If you're out celebrating with any family or friends Tuesday night late, it will be comfortable and it will be chilly. Maybe a light jacket at best, maybe a coat for late night plans, but it's Tuesday night, right? It's not like Friday night. It's not happening on a Saturday night. So a lot of folks are probably going to call it quits early. But for Tuesday night, New Year's Eve, skies will be mostly clear, perfect for any fireworks. And then outdoor plans, again, if you're with the family in the backyard, front yard, or just out in the street popping some fireworks, it should be just fine. It's a little chilly out there. Some people are saying the high will feel like 8 degrees. Is that true? Jason, I wouldn't go as far to say that yet. A lot of the forecast models, the GFS and the Euro, I've been putting out data suggesting that temperatures will be about 20 to 25 degrees below average. So the normal high this time of year is 63, which you can actually see right here. So for daytime highs to run 20 degrees below that, that'd be 43 for a high temperature. And then morning lows maybe dipping down into the teens. I've seen some models suggest wind chills, not necessarily temperatures, but wind chills down into the single digits by January 8th, January 9th, January 10th, that kind of window next month. So that's about, 9, 10, 11 days out from now. But again, these are forecast trends. We're not going to put that concretely on the forecast just yet. We have to wait several more days to lock that in because these are just trends. Because by tomorrow, the models might be saying something entirely different. By Wednesday and Thursday, they might go back and forth. So as we get more forecast data in, we'll lock in that temperature forecast, the wind chill forecast, but that's still how many days out from now is that? So it's the 29th, sometime between the 6th, 7th, and 8th of January, so about 8, 9, 10 days out from now. There's still a lot of time to watch this weather system up north because this air mass that's going to move in by January 7th, January 8th, That's originating in Canada, and there's a lot of time to watch it because it's going to spill farther south and then impact Texas sometime 8, 9, 10 days away from now. So a lot of time to watch it. We'll keep tabs on it, and we'll keep you updated here on Ken's 5. Susan, single digits? Probably not. I don't think that'll be the case. Obviously, a lot of things are possible in wintertime in January and February. We know that all too well, especially back in 2021. But as of now, we are not expecting that kind of temperature drop. But yeah, so that is on that. When will we see rain from Susan? The next chance it rains, Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, but it's only like 10, 20% chance. I would say probably by early next week as that colder air mass moves in. That'll be our next best opportunity at seeing more measurable, moderate to heavy rain. So this upcoming week, it's more about the temperature fluctuation, the temperature roller coaster, as you can see right here. But until early next week, that's when rain chances look best. So 8, 9, 10 days out from now. All right, so 85 tomorrow. We were at 81 today. It was 83 yesterday, and we'll be at 85 tomorrow. Very warm, very spring-like. This is above average warmth. We don't typically see this kind of heat in the middle of December, let alone the beginning part of winter. But good news, things will improve by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, where daytime highs get a lot closer to average here in San Antonio. So improvements are on the way for us. Right now, it's a little cool outside. I wouldn't call it chilly. It's 62 at Stinson, 64 at the airport. If anything, it's mild. Winds are calm. Humidity is very low. That is awesome. 56 in Bandera, 59 in New Braunfels. Same thing at Bernie at 59, 60 at Devine. Lower 50s in Fredericksburg, so temperatures are cooling off pretty quickly in the hill country. That's good to see. You don't mind the rain and cold, but not cold rain. Yeah, the mixture, the combination makes for difficult days, especially on the roads, getting back to work. Cold rain is tough. And some models suggest even a possibility at some wintry precip sometime around January 8th. Obviously, that's still a long ways out. We'll have time to continue to watch that trend. But yeah, cold rain, not the best. Speaking of not the best, the weather across the southeast has been active. I mean, we had several active tornado warnings in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, parts of Houston. Last couple of days have been very active. Matter of fact, here, the storm reports over the last 24 to 36 hours. So anywhere from the Carolinas to southeast Texas, even the I-35 corridor, had some reports of hail, between Saturday and Sunday. It wasn't really here in San Antonio. We saw a few showers Saturday morning, which we were tracking, but it was just a couple of showers and some lightning and thunder, but that was it. The severe weather, the severe nature of these thunderstorms stayed east. So you can see Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi was lighting up with that squall line. It had numerous tornado warnings, tornado signatures on radar, rotating thunderstorms that dropped in funnel clouds that resulted in EF2, EF3 strength tornadoes. That's over 120 miles an hour on the EF scale. Louisiana, it was active, but notice Houston, we had several tornado warnings over this last weekend. So if you had any friends or family in Houston, they probably encountered some good rain and even some severe weather in that part of Texas. Tonight's forecast, we stay cool, but not cold. We stay a little chilly. Average low is like 42, 43. We'll be at 48 tomorrow morning, so a little warmer than average. Tomorrow, record heat. I know, you don't want to hear it. It is something we just don't hear often, at least in wintertime, right? We hear it a lot in June, July, August, September maybe. But in terms of record heat in December, in the middle of winter started a couple of weeks ago, or just a week ago or so, about 10 days ago. And we're hitting 85 tomorrow, so get ready for that. But good news, we talked about this about 2 minutes ago. If you're just joining in, we're tracking some colder air, probably sometime between January 6th and January 10th. Some colder Arctic air will be dislodged, and some of that will spill farther south, and that'll impact Texas sometime between January 7th, January 8th. We need that, right? And this might, depending on the exact setup, may result in some rain along with cold air. So that combination, not fun, but we do expect that in winter, obviously, and we do expect that in January. So get ready. I would say sometime around January 7th, January 8th, we have the high potential at seeing sub-freezing temperatures in the overnights with daytime highs in the 50s and 40s. And you can see this on that 14-day right here. So again, it's still a long ways out. We're still 8, 9, 10 days away from this. So we're not going to commit on forecasting highs in the 30s and 40s just yet, but it is a possibility. It is certainly a possibility. But overall, below average temperatures probably in the 40s and 50s on January 7th and 8th. As we get more forecast data in, we'll fine tune the forecast. The timing on this Arctic air mass may change. It may come in a little earlier. It may come in a little later. So it may come in as early as January 5th or January 6th. But right now we're kind of pinpointing the 7th and 8th for very cold air, some rain moving in. And that will impact travel, and that will also likely bring sub-freezing temperatures in the overnight, especially in the hill country. So again, we're 8, 9, 10 days away from that. We'll wait a few more days to get more higher resolution, I should say, forecast data in to commit on that Arctic air mass. But we do think and we do know it's going to get cooler. Just how cold is it going to get? Not this week, but next week for January 7th, 8th, and 9th. So we are watching it very, very closely. Matter of fact, just make sure you download the KENS 5 app, guys. We have updates daily, and with this new Arctic air mass moving in, we'll have local updates from San Antonio, for the hill country, from our area here in South Central Texas. Our local Mets, me, Bill, Paul, Jeremy, Roxy, will have updates daily on what to expect. Obviously, this week is not very active. There is a chance for rain Saturday, but don't cancel plans over that. It'll be in the 60s in the afternoons and the 70s by Sunday, but 50s and 40s for mornings. It's not until next week, right, the 6th, 7th, and 8th, where it gets more active. Winter weather moves in. And on the KENS 5 app, we'll have daily updates from our local Mets here at KENS 5. So download today. It is free in the App Store. That is it for weather. And for us, guys, I mean, tomorrow, just get ready for very warm weather. 85 degrees. That is going to break a record from 48 to 85. That's a huge swing in temperatures from morning low to daytime highs. A lot cooler for New Year's Eve, 68 for a high. And then pretty perfect, I would say, for Wednesday, Thursday. Seasonal weather, lows right where they should be and highs right where they should be. Lower 60s for temperatures in the afternoons and then lower 40s for morning lows. And then we recover, briefly, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, highs in the upper 60s near 70, and then Arctic air likely spilling south by January 6th, 7th, and 8th. And if you're just joining us, we'll have more updates in the days to come with better forecast model data. We'll, start to commit on more concrete temperatures. That's just kind of an overview of what to expect. A lot colder and even some chances for rain for some precip on next Tuesday and next Wednesday. So not this upcoming week for New Year's Day and New Year's Eve, but the following week, January 7th and 8th, that could bring some more active wintry weather here to San Antonio and even across the state. So we'll have to watch that very closely. All right, guys, we'll leave it on the forecast a little longer. Have a wonderful Sunday night. Be careful. Tomorrow morning, it'll be clear. Tomorrow, sunny and a high of 85, which will break a record. And then thankfully, the next several days after tomorrow, things will improve, trend closer to seasonal average with some potential Arctic air on the way for next week.